Hey everyone, what's up? We're doing a 40-minute yoga class today. Feet together, hands at your heart. This is sort of our welcoming of fall time, my favorite time of year. Lots of focus on your hips and just kind of easing back into our practice. Inhale, reach your arms up, palms together. And then exhale, take your forward fold. If it's your first one, bend your knees. Inhale, halfway up, pull your shoulders back. And then exhale, forward fold. And now we're just going to bend our knees to slowly roll up to standing. Taking that again. Inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, take your forward fold. Inhale, lengthen the head front. And then exhale, tuck in the chin as you fold. Bending the knees one vertebrae at a time, slowly rolling up. 3 is my favorite number. One more time. Inhale, palms together. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lengthen halfway up, just warming up the hamstrings and your back. Exhale, fold. And bend your knee, slowly roll up. Adding on, inhale, palms together. Exhale, take that fold. Inhale, halfway up. And now this time, plant your hands, step back to your plank pose, shoulders above wrist. Take a big breath in through the nose, and then exhale, lower all the way down for baby cobra. Tops of the feet on the floor, roll the shoulders back, and then maybe lift your hands and squeeze your elbows in. And then exhale, tap your forehead down, moving to child's pose. Push into the hands, and then send the hips back to the heels. Just for one breath in, and one breath out. Coming up to tabletop, hands and knees. Inhale into cow face, arching the back. And exhale into cat, rounding, pushing. Inhale, cow, drawing the tailbone up, back of the head back. Exhale, cat, tailbone under, chin to chest. Last time. Inhale, look up. Exhale, chin to chest. Find your neutral spine. Take both toes and tuck them under and just hover your knees for a couple breaths here. We just want to stimulate the lower belly, start to bring some heat into the body as it starts to get cold outside, and then push your way back to downward facing dog. Pedaling your feet, bending one knee as you inhale, bending the other knee as you exhale. Head away from the hands, alternating one knee and the other. And you're trying to press the opposite heel down, and then the other one lifts like you're wearing high heels, which I really don't do much anymore. From your downward facing dog, you're going to open your feet wider, like shoulder width apart or even more, and look at your hands. Crawl back towards your feet. So feet stay planted, and once you're back, turn out your toes slightly and come down to your prayer squat. I want to focus on the hips a lot tonight. Take a breath in your prayer squat, and then as you breathe out, you're going to forward fold here, keeping the legs as they are, just dropping the head. Come right back down to your prayer squat. I've been incorporating this a lot for my hips, my inner thighs, lower leg, and then fold again, straightening the legs, dropping the head, and take that, bending the knees, prayer squat, head up, hands to the heart, and then dropping the head, straightening the legs as you lift the hips. This will be the last one. Come down to your prayer squat. And then this time, as you forward fold, we're moving to ragdoll. So pivot the toes front, grab opposite elbows, put a bend in your knees, and slowly stand up. Once you're up, you'll want to interlock your fingers behind your back. And then inhale, stretch the knuckles down as you look up. And then exhale, lift them, bending the elbows. Really waking up the chest and shoulders. Inhale, stretch the knuckles down. And then exhale, bend the elbows. Try that one more time. Inhale, squeeze the shoulder blades together. Pop up the chest. And then relax. Reach up and dive forward. Little different this time. You'll inhale halfway up and crawl to your plank. And listen closely. From your plank, walk your feet to your hands. So we're moving back to the front of our mat, or front of the practice. Once you're there, halfway up, and take your fold. Inhale, flat back to stand up this time. Samastiti. Let's try that one more time. Little warm up. Inhale, palms together. Exhale, diving forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Planting the hands and making our way to our plank pose. One strong breath in through the nose. And then exhale, lower all the way down. Roll the shoulders back for baby cobra, chest up. Maybe hands up, look up. And then exhale, tap your forehead to the mat. Inhale, push up. And then exhale, send the hips back, child's pose. One breath in and out. And this time as we move to tabletop, we'll take a spinal balance. So from all fours, you're going to lift up your right leg and maybe your left arm. If it feels like too much to have both of them up, maybe just pick one for now. Breathing here, pushing into the right arm, through the right shoulder, right hand, and then switching sides. One side will feel easier. Inhale, left leg up, right arm up by the ear, and breathe. Hugging the arm to the head, lifting through the inner thigh of the left leg. And our little core exercise this time, instead of toes tucked, keep them pointed and just hover your knees. Breathe. Lower belly engagement, shoulders, and then make your way to downward facing dog, tucking toes and lifting your hips. Turn your head to the right. Turn your head to the left and to the right and left. One more time to the right and to the left. And then look at your belly. Open your feet nice and wide. Look at your hands and crawl to the back of your mat like we did before. Returning to that prayer squat. Maybe it's a little easier. Hands to the heart. Inhale. And then diving forward, exhale, straightening the legs as much as you're able. Going in and out of the pose. Inhale, prayer squat. Exhale, take your fold. Inhale, prayer squat. And exhale, forward fold. Last time, inhale, prayer squat. Moving to ragdoll, grabbing opposite elbows. My torso is so long the elbows are almost on the ground. And then slowly roll up one vertebrae at a time. Taking that little chest and shoulder opener, hands behind your back. Switch to the cross of your fingers. Inhale, knuckles drive down. Exhale, bend the elbows. You can intensify this stretch by leaning your hips forward like you're doing the Titanic, right? At the end of the ship. Exhale, bend. One more time. Inhale, push your hips front as the hands go down and back. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, diving forward. Inhale, halfway up. And then making that transition to the front of the mat. So bend your knees, crawl your hands, find your plank first, and then walk your feet forward, keeping the hands still. It's going to work the core. Inhale, halfway lift, and exhale, fold, and then inhale, stand up. Now, if that is enough for your practice, that's perfectly fine. But if you're doing all right, I invite you to continue on with me, moving to Utkatasana, chair pose. Bend your knees. Inhale, reach up, palms together, feet together, knees together. Hands to the heart. You're going to shift your weight to your left foot. Pick up your right leg in balance. This feels quite challenging. I haven't done that in a while. Step back to a runner's lunge. Both hands framing the left foot. And then drop the back knee down. Relax. Inhale, pick up your back knee and push the heel away. Exhale, knee goes down. Inhale, push the back heel away. Last time, exhale the knee down. And then pick it up, step back to plank as you breathe in. Exhale, push up. Inhale, upward facing dog. And then exhale, downward facing dog. Keep your left foot down. Inhale, lift up the right leg, three-legged down dog with a square hip, opening up through the hamstrings of both legs. And then take the feel good stretch. Go ahead and kick it up, stack your hips. And if you like, you can bend the knee for a stretch through the quad and the knee. We'll make our way to warrior one, stepping right foot between both hands, turning out left toes, squaring the hips and shoulders as best you can. Inhale, reach up and breathe. And then planting your hands down, stepping it back to downward facing dog. From downward facing dog, walk, step, hop, feet front, lengthen once you're there. And breathe out, take your forward fold. Bending knees, chair pose. And I'm really taking my time with these chair poses. They feel so good. Samastiti. Inhale, chair pose. Hips to heels first, and then inhale, reach the chest, the arms up. It's really important to get that mobility first as you sink all the way down. Hands to the heart, picking up this time the left leg, harder than it looks, and stepping back to our runner's lunge, pausing for a moment before we take the little knee drops. And now as you exhale, left knee down. Inhale, left knee up, push the heel back. Exhale, knee down. Inhale, press the heel back. And last time, exhale, knee down. Inhale, press it back. Take your vinyasa to downward facing dog. Plank to chaturanga. You could do plank down to belly to cobra. All works, just trying to keep the body limber and warm. This time we'll lift up the left leg for three-legged down dog, squaring the hips for a few breaths. You can see my sitting bones are level, and then you can see when I open the hip, the left sitting bone kind of pops up and out. Taking the feel good stretch if you did on the first side, bending the knee. And then moving to Virabhadrasana, warrior one. Turning out the right toes, bending left leg, reach up. And from warrior one, just step it back to downward facing dog. From downward dog, walk, step, hop, feet to the hands. Exhale, forward fold, tuck in the chin, bend your knees for chair pose. So now we have a new sequence coming, and we'll repeat it twice with some add-ons. So after your chair pose, return to Samastiti. So starting now, inhale, Utkatasana. And now we'll twist to the right as you exhale. Hands to the heart, hooking left elbow, left tricep or shoulder outside the right knee. From your twist, squeeze your knees together, come back to center, lift up that right leg like we did before. But now this time, interlock your hands and stand up, pulling the right knee high into the chest. For a moment, you're going to open the knee out to the side, lifting left arm. And then you'll return to that balancing chair with the right knee front, and if you can, left knees bent before you step back to your runner's lunge. A little bit tricky, but we'll do it again. Right hand stays. Inhale, reach the left arm up. Keep squeezing that left knee in towards your chest as you twist. From twisting lunge, we have Skandasana. You'll open to the right side, flexing right toes to the ceiling. You can either walk your hands forward like I'm doing, or for a different stretch, I kind of like to go to the diagonal. So in this case, the right diagonal. Now come back with hands at the heart like your prayer squat, and push into the left foot as you come up to warrior two. Easier said than done. That was actually quite difficult. For warrior two, you want your belly facing the long edge of your mat, but you're looking over the right hand and you're bending that right knee above the ankle. Modified side angle pose will rest the right elbow on the thigh and reach the left arm up and over the face. And your gaze should be at the left hand. Trikonasana, triangle. Go ahead and straighten that front leg, maybe shorten your stance, and reach down towards your big toe. If the big toe is not accessible, no problem. You can bring your hand to your shin or even your thigh. I'm showing an option of wrapping the left arm around your back. Feels kind of good for the shoulder. Feel free to take whatever you like and leave the rest. Inhale, unravel to warrior two. And we have a side plank. So the left hand will go down and the right foot will step back. You'll notice I almost fell immediately. Go teacher. Push into your left arm, lift up through the left waist. And if you want a little bit more, you can extend the right arm over the ear. I'm like touching my plant back there. And as you're ready, inhale, plank pose facing the back of the mat or the room, and go through your vinyasa. And we'll repeat on the left side facing the back. So from downward facing dog, you'll walk, step, hop your feet to the back of the mat. Inhale, lengthen, and exhale, fold, moving to chair pose. It's always good to kind of turn yourself around. And samastiti. So repeating all of that on the left. Remember, this is still round one. Inhale, chair pose. And then exhale, hands to the heart, twist left. Right elbow to left outer knee. Little balance challenge is coming up next. As you inhale, lift your chest back up to center and pick up your left knee. Find your balance first, and then grab the left knee with both hands. As you pull it up into the chest, push down into the right foot and find external rotation. Reach the right arm up, left knee goes out, and reverse. So knee in front, bend the bottom leg, and slowly step back for your lunge. Left hand will stay down, right hand to the ceiling. Take your twist. Skandasana, walk your hands to the left as you flick the toes and the knee up, choosing your option, folding straight in front or going to the diagonal. And I know many of us are just happy to be wherever we are. You don't even have to try and you can feel the stretch. I definitely feel that with all that's going on, I have a new body and a new appreciation for what it can do. Everything has been so tight and stiff. All right, hands to the heart, warrior two this time, switching from the right knee bend to the left. Really difficult transition, but I really want to focus on those hips. Drop your shoulders, look over the left hand so you're facing the front of your mat now, or front of the room where you started. Side angle pose, left elbow down, right arm goes up. And then Trikonasana, triangle pose, shortening the stance as needed. And if you want that extra shoulder stretch, you want to turn your palm away, roll the shoulder, and then wrap around. Try to cup your hip flexor or your left thigh. Come back to warrior two. And then plant your hands down. Stepping back to plank, going through vinyasa. And before you say, Marisa, you forgot something. I know. I forgot side plank on this side, but don't you worry. It does come in later because I remembered during the practice. Walk, step, hop, feet to the hands. Lengthen. Forward fold. Take your chair pose. And now we'll move on to the last round. So that was round one. Now we have round two with some more additions. We'll start the same. Inhale, chair pose. And this time, as you exhale and twist, instead of having your hands together, you can intensify the stretch by moving your hands apart. So trying to push left hand down as the right arm goes up in the twist. Inhale, come back to center, pick up your right knee, and if you can, grab your big toe. This one's fun. Inhale, stand up, straighten the leg, oh boy. And then take your side stretch. Left arm by the ear, reach the leg out to the right, stand tall, and then come back to center. No hands, hold it, and then slowly step back to your lunge with control. Now, instead of twisting to the left, you're going to drop the right knee down, lift the left arm up, and let's go for the quadricep. Reach back for your toes and bring the heel towards your bum. It's easier if you do the left arm. If you try to do the right, it's not as simple. So do this way and then push the right thigh down. Skandasana, flip the toes. So option 1 is to go where we did before. Option 2, more for the hips and inner thighs, is goddess pose or really wide squat. And I'm taking eagle arms with the left elbow on top. You don't have to do the arms. You can have hands at the heart. You're praying that this will be over. But I wanted to get some more shoulders with the hips. Transition to your warrior 2. So if you're in Skandasana, stand up, warrior 2. And a deeper version of side angle pose will have the right hand down, left arm up. And I'm showing the option to go for a bind around the right leg. Totally not necessary. If this feels like it's just too much, you can come back to the side angle pose, which I did because my hips were like, nope, not happening. And then we'll step back to plank and vinyasa. So that was the, I don't want to say upgraded version, but some more intense stretches there. From downward facing dog, we'll do this on the left side. So walk, step, hop, feet to hands. Take your fold, bend your knees, hips to the heels for Utkatasana pose. And Samastiti. Let's try that on the other side. Inhale, chair. And then exhale, twist to the left, planting the right arm down on the floor if you can. It's much harder than it looks. Bring your hands back to your heart, pick up your left knee, and if you can, grab your big toe. If not, you can do what we did the first time, which is grabbing the knee and standing up. Straighten the legs, find your balance, and then inhale, reach the right arm up high as you open to the left. Come back to center, no hands, say a prayer. And with control, like a graceful swan, step it back, but if you're like me, you're vibrating. Left knee goes down. Inhale, reach your right arm up. Look behind you. Is your foot still there? Yes, it is. Grab it. You love that foot. Bring the heel to your bum. And sometimes when the knee or the quad is really tight, I won't even try to pull it in. I'll let my heel be so far away for a few breaths just to ease my body into it. Moving to your hip stretch, your Skandasana, or that wide goddess squat. And if you're taking the eagle arms with me, make sure you switch to the elbows or the cross on this side. With the deep squat, you want to push your knees out towards the pinkies. Keep the tailbone down, lift up through the chest, keep your head up. And then transition to your warrior 2 with the left leg front. Deeper side angle stretch, hand on the ground rather than the elbow. And then maybe going for that bind around that left leg on this side. Unraveling your arms, and this is where I redeem myself. Right hand down, right side plank. All right, here it is, the one that we missed. No problem. Better late than never. Reach the left arm over the ear to intensify if you did on the first side. And then inhale, plank pose. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. From downward facing dog, walk or hop your feet outside your hands. Come to prayer squat towards the front of your mat. Now we're going to do some hip mobility work. Place your right hand behind your right butt cheek and fall down to the side in the little reindeer stretch. You want to keep the left hip grounded. Push into your right hand again to return to prayer squat. So this is great mobility for the hips, the knees, the ankles. Now try your left hand behind your left butt cheek and drop the knees over to the left, focusing on the right hip down, getting a stretch through the inner thigh. Left hand presses, and you'll come back to prayer squat. Now this time we'll add a quad stretch. Right hand down, go ahead and sit to the right and point your left toes. Now you can start to walk back onto your elbows like I'm showing here. I'm going to go all the way down onto my back just because that's the best stretch for me. But don't think just because I'm lying down that's the one you should be doing. You might just want to sit and get used to sitting like that. It's a very different position than we're used to. To come out of it, bend your right elbow, roll to the right side and push your way up. And we'll come back to our squat, right hand down. Now left hand to switch sides, drop the knees. Watch what I do here with my right toes. I point them as I get into the quad stretch. So from your squat to the little reindeer, the feet will be flexed a little bit and that's fine. But when you're trying to lean back and lie down, it's good to have the foot pointed. Protects the knee. And on this side, to come out, you'll bend the left elbow and kind of push into the left arm. And then the left hand goes down. You'll flex the foot to come back to your little prayer squat. Now from here, I'm going to show an option of feet together, knees together in a very low squat. And if your heels are up, I don't want you to try to fix it. Just let the heels kind of hang out in space and really push your chest into your thighs, into your knees. And if your heels can go down and you feel like you don't need your hands, try wrapping your hands and grabbing the opposite ankles. This is not only a good stretch for the lower body, but I feel it between my shoulders. Feels amazing. One of my favorite poses now, we have our pigeon pose. I did a really lazy transition. Step your left leg back, bend your right knee, take your hands around your back, and then inhale, stretch the knuckles down, just like we did standing. And then exhale when you're ready, take your pigeon pose, walking your hands forward. I think pigeon might be the pose I'm seeing the most discomfort in since being at home and working from home. Just my hips are getting so tight, I'm not moving as much. I've been trying to do it every day, but it's it's not easy. And then walk your hands back. Go ahead and switch your legs. I just kind of step back to a lazy down dog plank and I switch. And we'll take that little back bend first. This is always nice before you fold. Take your hands around. Inhale, open the chest, get into the hip flexor, square the hips and the shoulders. And then exhale. So going the opposite direction, we go into extension first and then forward flexion as we stretch the arms out. Walk your hands back, tuck your back toes. This time bring your belly all the way on the ground. Make a T with your arms. You're going to roll to the right side and lift your left arm up. You've seen this before in some of my older videos. I love the stretch. I'm sure there's a proper name for it, but I don't know. Left arm is up. Make sure your palm is facing the ceiling so you can get a good shoulder and chest opener here. I always tell my students you're trying to actually lie on your back like this. So if you think about doing that, twisting your chest up, it'll make it even harder, deeper. And we'll go ahead and try the other side. So making a T with your arms, palm down, and then rolling to the left side, reaching left arm up. I was so happy that my couch cushion was there. I was like, yes, I can grab something. Sometimes I'll do this with like a 2-pound weight just to help, gravity. And slowly come back. Push up to all fours and then cross your feet. We're going to go ahead and make our way down. This is the good stuff. Seated forward fold, Dandasana. Inhale, reach your arms up. And then Paschimottanasana, forward fold. If you feel that your lower back rounds a whole lot when you do this pose, open your feet about hip width apart and try bending your knees slightly. And if that doesn't help, go ahead and sit on a pillow so your hips are higher, and that should help you fold. From here, Eastern plank, it's like a reverse plank. Take your hands back and then lift your hips up either with bent legs or straight legs. Make sure your fingers are facing front. It's going to build a lot of strength through the wrist, your triceps, and your core, your legs. And breathe. Keep your neck neutral. You're looking straight up. Exhale, bring your hips down. Baddha Konasana, soles of the feet together, knees apart. Inhale, sit up nice and tall. And then exhale, bowing forward, pushing the knees down towards the ground. Inhale, sit up. Navasana, boat pose. Bend your knees, roll to the back of your sitting bones, and stretch your arms forward. Breathe. Suck the belly in, pull the shoulders down. We're transitioning to what I call party boat. Tuck your chin and lengthen, making like a really wide V with your body. And then as you inhale, you're going to draw your knees and chest together. So suck the belly in and push. And try that 2 more times. You're going to tuck your chin, and as you exhale, extend chest away from the knees, pointing the toes, reaching through the arms. And then inhale, bring the chest up towards the knees, squeeze them hard together. I actually felt my core tonight doing this one. And one more time, tuck your chin. If you can go a little bit farther, a little bit lower, do it. And then reach your arms up. And this time we get to lie down. Yes. Bending your knees, we're going to take walking bridges. I wanted to focus on some lower body, so here we go. Inhale, lift up your hips, keep your arms apart for the first one. Now pick up your right knee as you push into the left and step it down gently. Pick up your left knee and step it down gently. Try it again. Right knee, step down, left knee, step down. Keep going. Right knee, try to keep your hips up. That's key. Step down, knees forward. Left knee, step down. I believe 2 more. Right knee, step down. Fingers crossed. Last one. Left knee, step down. Lift your hips up and take a moment to rest. Roll down. Give your knees a quick squeeze. And we'll do that one more time, this time with arms interlocked behind your back. Prepare for bridge pose. Inhale, hips high. Interlock your hands. Tuck the shoulder blades together. Inhale, right knee comes up. Exhale, step it down, keeping the hips high. Left knee up. Step down. Right knee, the butt wants to drop, but don't let it. Step down. Left knee. And down, lift through the chest. Right knee. Step down. You got it. Keep going. Left knee. Step down. Last time. Right knee. Step down. And oh my goodness, left knee. And down. Lift your hips higher. Squeeze your butt. Push, push, push. And very slowly, You'll roll down one vertebrae at a time. Give your knees a hug. Well done. Lengthen your left leg down, hold on to that right knee, and lift your nose up to your knee. Moving to our hamstring stretch. Straighten the leg up, grab wherever you can, wherever you like. And when you're ready, tuck your chin to your chest and lift your head up towards your leg. Taking a twist, you can either twist the right leg across to the left straight, or if it's easier and more comfortable to bend it, go ahead and bend it. Only go as far as you can, keeping the right shoulder down. Come back to center. Take one last lift. Head touches the leg and switching sides. Bending the left knee in towards your chest. Lift your nose up to your knee. Actually touch it. Give it a smell. And then lengthen for the hamstring. I miss doing this one, in the gym when we had our classes. This is where I could really assist and help people get deeper into the stretch. Lift your head up to your leg and place it down. Take your twist, bent or straight. Because the hips are so tight, it's hard to get that deep of a stretch on your own, but when you have a teacher or somebody to apply pressure, it really helps. And it feels good, even though sometimes it might be uncomfortable at first. Come back to center, give it one last squeeze, and let it go. Now I'm going to pop up into shoulder stand. You're more than welcome to simply straighten your legs above your hips into waterfall pose. Just a few breaths in our inversion. And if you've never done shoulder stand before and you're nervous about your neck and shoulders, don't worry about it. Just legs up against the wall, legs up above your hips. You're still getting plenty of benefit from doing that option. If you are in shoulder stand, the next pose you go to is Halasana Plow, toes on the ground behind you. You can either do this with straight legs, or I'm going to show the bent knee version, ear pressure pose. Now, if you're not up on your shoulders and you're on your back, you can transition to one of two things. You can do knees into the chest, or you can take a happy baby, some kind of forward fold. And slowly, when you're ready, you'll roll down one vertebrae at a time, starting to make our way to Shavasana, or in this case, I want to do butterfly lying down with cactus goalpost arms. If you're just ready for that Shavasana, feel free to straighten your legs and drop your arms down by your side. Or if you would like to join me for a little hip opener, go ahead and press your feet together, knees apart, and open your arms. Start to relax your breathing. And I'll check back in when it's time to straighten the legs for Shavasana. All right, if you are in butterfly, go ahead and straighten your legs for full Shavasana, corpse pose, just for a few moments here. Opening the legs as wide as your mat, turning your palms to face the ceiling down by your side. Draw your knees in towards your chest, maybe rocking side to side, forward and back. And as you feel ready, make your way up to a seated place. Hands together at your heart. Being grateful for all that your body had to offer you, especially with all the craziness going on this year, and now we're in fall already, autumn season. Thank you guys so much for being here. Till next time, bye.